Okay, that's screen print. That was like a really terrible test print. Let's move it up and try again. Right on the edge of my thing there. Huh. Latin. Okay. Ah, dog hair. Okay. I think I'm going to try to put pressure while I'm flooding. And then just press this way. So otherwise I'm getting lots of, yeah, there we go. Very uncrisp print. I'll try that for a second. And then I have a nice pretty silver to put on top. It's not very dry at all. These are nice and tight. Okay. Same thing, and flood it and pencil at the same time. Ooh, yeah. That looks good. On the actual shirts, I will do a double white so it's nice and crisp. And I didn't see any extra spots or bleeds, so I think we're good to print it. It's gonna look so good. Okay. Alright, and so I reset my platen. I sprayed it with water. And then I scrubbed the lint off and then heat set it, and it was perfectly tacky. I'm pressing too hard on the white because it's going through the shirt, so I need to press a little bit lighter. Okay, I'm gonna grab some shirts and we'll get started. I guess I didn't think about it, but grab a shirt because I can only do one at a time. Alright, finding the center. Alright, and then I didn't check to see about neck placement, so I think I'm too far up. Thinking right there. There we go, I think that'll work. Okay. Down, and let's get to it. Beautiful. Just about 5-6 seconds on it. See, that's still pretty darn wet, so I need to wait. Okay. Well, much better. The only thing bad about not having a squeegee big enough is that literally you don't have a squeegee big enough. It's a little bit of a mistake right there, but they're all going to be like that, so I'm just going to leave it. That looks so good. Okay. I'm gonna get hangers and hang trouble. Okay. Alright. Alright, there's one. That's where the blue one was. I think it's pretty good. So I'm going to make sure that's the front. And this bottom is where that goes right there. Make sure it's centered. And find the tag. There we go. Spacing is good, which I think I am, and that you guys are still connected. Hi everybody. Okay. Yeah. I think the reason why that side wasn't getting my bolts down here loose in my heat presses, flash dryer is tilting. There we go. I need to post the plans my husband made for that flash dryer. I just made it on a whim one night after I got it in the mail. There we go, nice and even. And my dog is in the garage looking for a bug. Oh, now it's flashing nice and even. The other night, if you guys are watching my live, it was a hot, ugly, unsuccessful, very upsetting mess. Tonight, much better. See, that silver doesn't look very silvery on this one. I think it's because I'm pressing a little hard. Yeah, there we go, that's better. There we go. Just a little bit. That one right there is messed up, but it's going to be that way on all of them. And so usually when it's that way on all of them, I don't even worry about it because they're all going to think it's like that. Dang, these are looking so good. Cool thing, I designed this eagle in Procreate by hand, converted it in Illustrator to a vector, layered it in Illustrator, and printed it out on a transparency, put it on a screen, and here we are. Want to see? It's like I planned it or something. Okay, let's get going. So I have a lot more to do, and I don't want to be up past midnight. It's just now 10 o'clock here. I bet you I can get these done in an hour. So Shelly, less talking, more printing. I almost put silver down after bragging on everything. The first one always looks pretty bad. Since we teach children, I didn't want like claws on the eagle. It's kind of a little intense. So I kind of just made the eagle like this happy, intense, intricate design. So that way you can still tell that it's an eagle. And you can still tell that, I mean, obviously it said eagles, but just by the wings and how it's all laid out, whoa, I almost knocked all over, that it's an eagle. It's so thick over there, holy moly. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go with it. Not too bad. Do a little bit of work right there. There we go. Just one more coat. That's all it needed. Quick flash there. Put it on the hanger. We're just cooking along. So with the red shirts, you don't want to heat set them too long because it can discolor it. Every shirt on red that I have heat set has always come back, but I've seen some horrible print jobs where that hasn't been the case. Some more reds. You guys are like on a bucket at the end of my platen, and I keep like trying not to knock it off. So nobody wants to see that hot mess. Lint or something. Okay, white. I'm probably gonna have to add a little bit more white. So give me a second. it's always with caution that you should put ink on your screen because it could drip anywhere on the shirt, which, you know, I have done numerous times. Beautiful. Look at that spot right there every single time. It's just too close to the edge, and that's my fault because I burned it incorrectly. If you see a white shadow, it's not really a shadow, but a white blob, that's my dog Captain. He is a white German Shepherd, and he goes anywhere and everywhere that I go, except for work, of course. That's getting better. That one spot over here. Come on. There we go. I think we got it. You know what? I'm not even going to flash it because number one, that saves me like 10 seconds per shirt. And number two, it's going to hang dry for about an hour before I press it. Technically, it could hang dry overnight, but this works too. Okay, so that's 4, I think. 3 reds and a blue. Just kidding, I have 2 more reds. Huh. A lot of red ones. You guys keep getting closer and closer. I keep getting, you know what I can do is move my breast just slightly. Okay, my shirts do get a little bit smaller each time. I don't know what size this one is. A medium, so those are probably extra larges and larges. So they get a little bit tighter on the platen. Alright, white first. Hope I can still see. So yeah, okay. Go. Beautiful. So a few years ago, I made some red shirts with silver ink on it, and I did not use a white underbase. I greatly regret that now because this silver is popping on that white underbase. Several reasons I didn't do that. Number one, I didn't know how. I didn't know I should, so therefore I didn't know how. This one is tight. It is a small. Extra small would be extra impossible. Now I could probably make it happen. It's just not as loose like it should be. Right, weights first. I always get ink on my hands somehow, some way. If anyone wants to send me like a full-size squeegee, that'd be great. Most of my screens are the speedball, like stock up ones that you can get on Amazon and eBay and Dick Blick and Hobby Lobby, Michaels. Uh-oh, I'm out of hangers. Hold on. While I'm checking on hangers. Let's see if you guys have any comments, questions, concerns. What are you up to? That white is really bleeding through. I'll just show you. I'll pull this off. See? Right there. The small is so hard to get off of there. Okay, let's see what color is next. Ooh, raglans. Here we go. So who knew that raglans and v-necks were so popular? Like, that's the majority of the requests that I get. Can you do this in a raglan? Can you do this in a v-neck? Just gonna clean this off a little bit. Just some water and a rag. Number 1, I just got that ink off. Number 2, I clean off the lint, and it shows the text stack underneath again. I couldn't think of a better word than shows. And now I'm going to heat set it, and that will retack the ink. So cool. But you know how long it took me to learn that? A really long time. You know how many mistakes I had to make? A lot. Super hot. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shirts and 2 test prints. So about 8 before I had to just check on my platen. Alright. So I'll probably have to do that one more time before I'm done printing, because I'm doing about 16 shirts, I believe. Okay. The only thing I hate about raglans is loading them, because the stupid jersey cut like throws me off every time. Without fail, that's what I was trying to say. Okay. The good thing about black is you can see all of the particles. Okay. I'm gonna make sure it's positioned far enough up or down. I think it's fine. Okay. Here we go. Okay, so if you don't love white on black, you need to get with the program, because it looks amazing. If you're just joining, I'm doing a 2-color white and silver, then I'm doing a double base print. So I'm doing 2 white print, flash print. Man, that's beautiful. So that was my white base. And since silver is so light, I need to make sure that white base is super thick, especially on this dark shirt. But it's gonna pop so wonderfully. Alright, let's see. Hey, I'm great. I'm glad that the line printing table worked. I actually have mine right here. It's standing vertically. And it still works. I did some modifications to the registration right here, but I wanted to give this a shot. I'm going to do some comparing and some contrasting to the rotary press versus the line table. I definitely do miss my line table. I'm used to it and I'm familiar with it. I've been printing on it for almost 3 years. But before I can do like a compare and contrast, I needed to trial and error this one. So yeah, that's where we're at with this. Who knows, I may switch back to that one. It would, I think, make this a little bit quicker, because I could do 3 shirts, white, 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 silver, 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 be done. Whereas this, I'm having to do a single shirt. Look how good that looks. So I'm glad you guys are trying the designs, all that fun stuff. Whoops, sorry. Trying not to pull y'all off. I'm connected to a mic. Okay. Whoops. Oh boy. Sorry. Alrighty. Let's get the next color. So right now I was just hanging that up. And I've got a bag of shirts from Shirt Space. Actually, this might be from S&S. I ordered from 2 places. I live in Texas, so S&S, there's a shipment location in Dallas, which I usually get their stuff next day. You have to order kind of a large quantity, but if you're screen printing, you should be having kind of a minimum of that large quantity because you're not going to do all the work to prep your screens just to print 6 shirts. I say that, and I did a live last week on 6 shirts for a CMYK color print. Don't do that. It's hard and it's complicated. I mean, you can. I'm still learning. I will get it one day. I just haven't gotten it yet. But that's this whole fun process. Okay. I think I got that there before I put it down. Let's see where it's at. I'm going to pull it just a little. There we go. Yeah, that's better. So I have very teeny tiny little bitty hands, and the perfect like 4-inch distance is my hand. So find what works for you, so you don't have to grab a ruler every time. I mean, you can mark it too, whatever works for you. But when I do vinyl or anything, I just use my hand because it's what I've got on hand. Alright, the all-time screen printing question, do you push or do you pull? The funny thing is, we're teaching, or my students at school are learning about push, pull, motion, and force. So my brain just went to that lesson. You guys are not my kids though, so don't worry, I'm not going to teach you about force and motion. Alright, it's about time I add some more white on here. The white dries so quickly, it gets used up the most quickly, and it thickens the quickest too, I think. It's water-based ink, so if you saw, I don't know if I put it, I think I might have started my live and it failed, so I don't think you guys saw me adding water to it to thin it out. So if you're using water-based speedball ink, that's what I do for almost all of my inks. Add some water in it until it gets to a cake-like batter consistency. Alright. And it's about time I reload my silver too, which I said that last time. They'll yell at me and tell me to refill my screens. Nice. Alright, we got one more of the Raglans. And we're going to move on to some other colors. And more ink, obviously, because I remembered. Tricky part about screen printing is making sure your possibly wet inked fingers do not get on your shirt blinks. So constantly be checking your fingers. I wear an apron just because I ruined so many clothes. I mean, I have crap clothes on underneath it, but I've also ruined so many clothes. So my crap clothes are underneath my apron, just because I get in this creative zone and I forget to check what I'm doing. Okay, before I do that, let's grab some ink. Alright, word to the wise. When you're adding ink on the screen that is on a shirt that you're using, be careful not to splatter, because you don't want to have to clean that up later. Just saying. It's honestly best to probably load your ink in between loading shirts, but say as I do as I say, not as I do. Smooth that side out just a little bit. Whoa, I almost dropped the flash dryer on myself. I did severely burn my arm. Looks a lot better now. Let's see if I can show it to you guys. A couple weeks ago, because I wasn't paying attention, I turned and like burned it hardcore, like right here on my elbow. It's like the worst place you can get a burn. So you're like constantly using your elbow all day long, no matter what you're doing. Sleeping, eating, driving, talking, getting dressed. And then like, you know how like dogs are great about like sniffing and touching where you're hurt or whatever. We have 2 German Shepherds, and so like they're like, hey, what is this new fun textured smelly area? Dang, this one side over here just always gets me. There you go. Stop. Because if I don't stop, keep going, I'll mess it up. I almost did. I see my 20 is bleeding slightly. So I'm going to spray my bottle, wipe my screen on the bottom. And that one area that just keeps giving me grief. Good grief. Now I'm here, spray my hands a little. See how the 20 is just a little bleeding. So I clean my screen so that way the next shirt won't have that. Because if it goes outside the stencil, anything on the bottom of the screen is going to be on the next continuous shirts unless you fix it. And that could happen for a couple of reasons. I added more ink so the ink is thinner, so it spread quicker, and I wasn't accommodating for that. So that might have been what happened. Or my pressure and angle is probably off, which I still haven't totally gotten pressure and angle down. Especially now because I have off contact and I've never had off contact, so that I'm just going to kind of blend together a little bit. There we go. I think that works. Okay. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're over halfway there. I guess halfway. 16 divided by 9. I think I'm okay. Yeah, my other shirts are dry, so I'm going to start layering in front. Okay. Next up, we have this and this. And then these last two in here are not for this order, so do not use those, Shelly. Okay. We have some more of the royal blue, which I was screen printing, and I didn't realize that I wasn't recording or going live or whatever, so I think y'all missed the original royal blue, but I showed y'all kind of in the beginning. And after I do maybe 1 or 2 of these, I'll show y'all the finished ones I have hanging up, so you can kind of see an example of what they're looking like after they've dried. Let me check the spacing. just a little. Make sure the sides are good. I'm so bad at loading shirts. And I've watched so many people give like tips, like just my OCD. Actually, it's not really OCD, it's my ability to overthink everything. It's actually a 4-color double press. So there's actually 2 platens, but I'm in my garage and so we have limited space. So I'm only using 1 platen. I think by the time that I would go from platen to platen, it would just be too much. So that's why I'm just doing 1 platen right now. Would probably save time to do 2, but here we are. So, in 1 second. Alright, so to send a quick message. One corner over there just giving me grief. Okay, I'm gonna press that. That little line is because I press kind of hard to pick up that extra. I think when I press over it again for the second base, it's gonna be fine. Okay, here's the second base. That's fine. Need it to dry up so it'll flatten back down. I keep touching the screen when there's wet ink. Drives me nuts. And that silver is like glittery. So it kind of like shimmers on your skin, but it is just beautiful on top of that white. So I think one of the reasons this front piece right here just looks a little funky is because they're right on the edges of both my screens and they didn't burn super crisp and clear. So that's why I'm having a little bit of discrepancies, but if you don't draw attention to it, most people don't notice. Or so I found. Let me just tell you, it's so cool to like walk into a building and see people wearing your clothes. I imagine that's what designers feel like when they're like, oh my gosh, that's my wedding dress, or oh my gosh, that's my hours and hours and hours of sweat and tears and frustrations and etc. See, I can't touch it because I have ink on my hands. So frustrating. Okay. So the first time I saw screen printing, well, I like watched a tutorial on it, was through Creative Live, and I can't remember the lady's name, but she's a textile artist, but she also does some of her own screen printing of her designs on paper and textiles and stuff. So I remember her saying, clean hands are the screen printer's lament, which, watching her, she didn't have any issues. And now that I'm doing it, I'm like, what am I doing? How am I so messy? I'm super excited about these shirts. Oh yeah, I was going to show y'all what they look like. Let's finish this one. They look so good. Just tell you that white underbase makes a huge difference. I really hope I didn't just flood that area. Oh, beautiful. Silver and show y'all. Lovely. Okay, let's take a peek at what we've got going on. Okay, so yeah, fingerprints are the worst. Sorry, I'm like late on y'all's comments. Thanks, Tracy, for chiming in. So here is the Raglan's, the Royal Blue. These are all Bella Canvas too, by the way. I'm sorry, the lighting is not too excellent, but you can kind of see enough there. Here is the Heather Red on the Bella Canvas, and some more of that Heather Red. And that's all the colors I've got right now. We are about to do the Heather something or another. Let me look at my sheet and I can tell you. One is a V-neck, which I will tell you all about V-necks. Heather Midnight Navy. This one is one of my new favorites. So much fun. Let's do a regular tee so I can get those out of the way. I've got 2 tees and I think 3 V-necks, and then we're done. So probably another 15 minutes. Okay. And I'm thinking after this one I'm probably going to have to re-wet my platen. I don't like it super sticky because if you can see one of my last videos, big textile mistake, you see that I peel off a bunch of textile in my order. So I try not to keep it super sticky. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that's good. Okay, I'll touch it with my right hand though, it's wet. Okay, so yeah, this Heather Midnight Navy is like a, I don't know if you guys use Bella Canvas, but it reminds me of the slate. It's a mixture of slate and heather gray. So it's like a really cool combo. All right, we'll do this and then we will do the V-necks. First time I did V-necks, I don't know what I was thinking. I guess because you just don't really realize kind of some of the stuff you're doing until you're doing it. Especially with stuff like this. There's so many steps. You have to have the screen right. You have to have the pressure right. You have to have the platen correct, you have to have the shirt placement correct. Before you even do all that, you have to have your artwork correct. But when it comes to V-necks, I placed the neckline kind of like the same I would with a t-shirt, not thinking that with a v-neck there's this like extra space right here, so like you can't place it in the same spot because then the design is going to be too far one way or the other. So yeah, my first set of v-necks were very misplaced, too far down, too far up. I wasn't really paying attention. So that was fun. Look at that white. These are a little girly. Most of the teachers on our campus are girls, females. So I have another design I'm going to use, present for more of the males that didn't order the shirts because this was a little too girly. But I thought, like, it was still kind of cool. Like, I think if I would have added a distress, it probably would have been a lot more popular with everybody who has that, like, not so female-y, girly taste. It's actually pretty darn good. The reason this little line is showing right here is because my white underbase stops there. My silver kind of overlaps it. Like I said, can't have everything 100% perfect. And then this line here is because on my white design, it's not there, but on my silver design it is. And that was because I printed my white design, then changed it and didn't reprint it. So here we are. Okay, before I do that, let's spray and clean this because I do have 4 more to go. While I'm at it, just do my hands. That's mainly just this center area because that's where we're pressing and lifting and pressing and lifting. You can see all that lint rolling off, leaving the text tack behind. The water reactivates it. Thank you. I do love the design. If you guys need anything designed, just let me know. I have spent years and years and years in Adobe. I started in high school, which for me is not that long ago. Most of you guys would say 2004 to 2008. And I was the lead, what's it called, editor, can't even remember, of the yearbook club, and we were using Adobe Illustrator, no, Adobe, shoot, I can't even think of it, Premiere, crud, my brain's tired. I got to work at 6:45. When you do publications, y'all know what I'm talking about. Anyways, so I got really good at that in high school. In college, I ran my own photography business part-time while going to school. Did weddings and maternity and all that fun stuff, and got super good at Photoshop because I was scared to death of Lightroom and would not use Lightroom to edit my photos, which, like I said, I make things really complicated really quickly. And gosh, that's hot. My heat press is really, really warm, or my flash dryer. Got really good in Photoshop. Then my husband, who had done some design and digital audio, whatever, I was like, you know what, you should really try Photoshop or Lightroom. I was like, okay, fine, I'll bite the bullet, do it. Love it. Now I do Photoshop for like the complicated stuff for layering, and I do Lightroom for my batch photos and stuff like that. Honestly, for a lot of my digital stuff too, like on the go on my phone, I use Adobe Spark because that's just an amazing little app right there. If you have Adobe Creative Cloud, you're like set. If you're able to afford it, it's worth, I think it's like $30 a month. So that's Photoshop, Lightroom, InDesign. There we go. That's what it's called. Then, 2 years ago, when I kind of started my business stuff, my t-shirt company and all that fun stuff, I started designing in Illustrator, and freaking love Illustrator. I got the Wacom tablet, designed the Wacom tablet and all that fun stuff. I was like, I really want Procreate, because like everybody that I can like draw anything does Procreate, which I can't draw to save my life, but that's one of my goals. So I try to practice at least daily. It doesn't always happen, even if it's just like 2 minutes. So got Procreate last year, and one of my like big achievements for my business was to be able to draw a design in Procreate and have it print on a shirt. And I remember just a few months ago, my first one that I ever did, I'm like, I went and told my husband, I was like, oh my gosh, look. It's like, I was just drawing this in Procreate just a few months ago, and now it's on a shirt. And he just like kind of looked at me like, yeah, okay, like that's cool. Like he obviously didn't understand like the sweat here and like stress behind it, but I did, and I was excited. So, fun stuff. I feel like I'm slowing down because I'm talking. So I'm just going to focus for a minute. Now the V-necks, the fun stuff. I'm just kidding. One more t-shirt. Oh, come on. Kidding me? It's like when you're ready to be done, and it's not. I was just kidding. It is a V-neck. I lied. We are on the home stretch, y'all. Okay, so with the V-necks, save the best for last. Okay, so kind of line it up. I do like the V-necks because it's super easy to get that middle line, because that's where it lines up. So I'm going to bring the white down, see where it's at. So I think I'm going to pull it up just a tad bit right there. Make sure so what I'm doing here is I'm feeling the sides to make sure the seams are kind of on the same spot on each side, and that's how that I know it's center on the side. Alright, let's hope this looks good. That's all you can hope for, right? And I have to refill my white because I can't even get it off my squeegee right now. Okay, while that is drying, let's get some more white. Like I said, the white always goes the quickest. Dries up, gets used the fastest. So alright. And before I press that, I remember that the white this time is thinner. So I didn't want to leave it sitting too long in the design so it won't spread out, which it did almost right there. So just to ensure that my last 3 are good, I'm going to kind of clean that spot on the screen with a wet towel. That was my second print of the base. Now we're going to bring over the silver. It's a little off because that white's off, but it'll be fine. And it's kind of right in line where it should be. Need a couple more hangers. Okay, last 2 of the evening. Are we going to finish by 11? Probably not. We'll probably finish like 5 minutes after. I'm okay with that. Alright. Yeah, it looks so good on this Heather Midnight Navy. Alright, that's way too far down. Right there. This is an extra large because it's like super hanging off on the edges. And you can be in the middle up here and then be twisted either way on the sides. Just so you know. Shirts are tricky. Okay. Hopefully my spot clean worked. A little bit. Still has a little, but it's okay. 2 years ago, I would have been perfectly fine with that base coat. But number one, my word Eagles is not covered up by silver. So like that would be the kind of like yucky, mushy white. So I want to be sure that that white is like super crisp and clean. And in order to do that, I'm going to make sure that I have a nice white base. Just like that. And we're going to roll on over. Okay, since I'm not fully flash pressing these, flash drying these, whatever. Number one, because I don't want like to get my platen too hot, so I'm not rotating between multiple platens. Because if you get your platen too hot, it affects the next screen. The ink dries quicker in the screen, and etc., etc. So I'm not fully curing on the platen. What I do afterwards is I put it in the heat press for 40 seconds on like 370, I think. Honestly, I put it in until I really don't see any more steam. I've gotten pretty good at it because I can fold a shirt while one's pressing, and then once I'm done folding, the one that's pressing is done pressing. And as everyone says, always test print, or always wash it just to make sure. Which mine are usually always the same, so I need like 2 more places to hang stuff. I'm out of room. Just hang it right there. Okay, last one. Yay, congratulations if y'all stayed with me the whole hour. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate y'all watching and hope you have learned something. And if you have not, just leave a comment. Let me know something because I like to learn. I like to learn from new people. What can I do to make my videos better? What do you want to see? I do work full time. I'm a teacher, so I do this when I have the energy and time, or AKA I stay up and don't get sleep like this. You know, what's life for if you can't enjoy it? Okay, I think that's good. Last one. That side got a little dry there. Still is, but that's okay. Let's see if we have any other comments. No, not yet. We're right at an hour though, y'all. Not too shabby. The other night I think I went like almost 2 hours. And then I was too tired the next day to do anything else. Lovely. That's our last one for white. So I usually try to test and print all on the same night because I've gotten pretty good at my screens where I know what may or may not work in regards to the test print. I wouldn't suggest it if you're on a timeline or a strict whatever deadline. There we go. But if you know your system and you're able to handle it, go for it. The reason why I do it all in one night is because I hate test printing, cleaning the screens, and then waiting, and then doing the real thing. I'd rather just do it all in one night and get it over with. Because now I only have to clean once, which is amazing. Look at that. Wonderful. All right, let's take one final look at what we did, and we'll get to go from there. So I have shirts kind of hanging everywhere. I'm gonna try not to burn myself. Let's take you guys off here without hanging you up, which is sometimes kind of tricky because I don't know where my buttons are. Okay, there we go. Ooh, my phone is warm. Okay. Here is that Heather Midnight Navy. Alright, there is my platen setup, and this is my flash dryer here. It's on this really cool stand that like my husband made. And it can raise and lower using those peg holes. And then here's all the other shirts. Heather Red, Black and Blue Raglan, Royal Blue. That is the Heather Midnight Navy up there. And then this is my 6 platen that's just covered in whatever mess. So there we are, guys. And this is what you guys are sitting on the whole time, a bucket with a fun holder. I'm going to clean up the screens. So that means I'm going to remove the excess ink, put that up, put ink remover on it. While I'm doing that, these are going to dry. When these screens are cleaned and my area is cleaned up, I bring out my heat press, which is back behind here. I just bring it to the table. I move my rotary press over, or my line table over, whichever one I'm using, and I heat set it like I was describing earlier. And I fold it, put in the orders as completed on Shopify, and deliver or ship the next day. So that is all about my screen printing and probably a really hot mess. But thank you guys for watching, and we will try to do this again later and hopefully have some more fun. If you guys have any other questions, just comment me, email me, do whatever, find me, or if you want designs or anything, let me know as well. Have a great evening. Bye. and messy hands as well. Just stay creative. It'll be fine.